Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. This is Maggie from Spoiled Not Sorry. Today I really want to share about some recent deep transformations that I've had in my life. I really want to show you guys a realistic week in my life. Get ready with me. I will be getting ready to go to pottery class this morning. Are you hungry? Oh, that's so nice from you, boo boo. I would say that this week I've gone through some really deep transformation. I think a big anchor of the deep transformation I've experienced this week was a conversation that I had with my mom. It started because I was just like not feeling very good this week at the beginning of the week. And over the last weekend, I started feeling really unwell, like physically. And I started going to an acupuncturist this week. I've already been twice. I'm going to go a third time tomorrow. But he told me basically it's just like I have a lot of anxiety, which makes sense because I just moved here. There's so much to figure out still. And I think that maybe I've been a pretty anxiety prone person, but just in this transition, I have felt like a lot of weight on me and just really overwhelmed by everything, even though I know that there's nothing I really need to worry about, but that's not how it feels in my body, even though I know that consciously. And this acupuncturist that I found is like helping me tremendously just release some anxiety from my body and just take care of like my circulation. And he's like put me on this diet of like mostly vegetables, and I was eating a lot of meat before. So he put me on this diet of mostly vegetables and told me not to eat too late. He doesn't even want me to eat dinner, but I still have to eat dinner because I just have really small meals throughout the day. But yeah, I'm supposed to not eat too late because it's affecting like how deeply I can sleep, because we were having dinner at like 10 or 11 o'clock at night, or like finishing dinner around that time, and it was causing like my digestive system to be working all throughout the night, so I couldn't get really deep sleep. And then so it was like affecting like this constant fatigue in my life. And so I started to like eat less at nights, which is actually helping me a lot. And I wake up and I eat a really big breakfast, lunch, and I try to eat like all throughout the day. I'm walking to ceramics class. I grew up in an immigrant family, and I would say like our family situation was pretty special. I don't know anyone else that really had a situation like our families, but I think my parents, both of them, made a lot of sacrifices and to give me and my sister the life that we have and the privilege that we have today. And I'm really, really grateful for them because they worked really hard and sacrificed a lot for us to have what we have. But at the same time, like being from the family and being a kid in the family, I also made sacrifices. I think I grew up really early. I think I became an adult really young, and I just had to figure out a lot of things in life on my own. And so I was sharing all of that with my mom, and I think it was for the first time I kind of shared with her candidly about how much I think pain and grief I had from my childhood. And I don't think she actually knew or realized, because she was also going through a lot of her own. So I think that was a really pivotal moment of my week, and it's really stayed with me, and it's really transforming this inner part of me. As a kid, I felt like my family felt really broken, and maybe my story was also broken. But I think that is what makes my life now and the life that I want to create now so meaningful to me and so full of promise and full of dreams. Hola. Buenos días. Uno de masa madre. Going on a run walk. I'm going to my first Pilates class. It's in more towards the center of the city, so I left my house pretty early this morning after eating breakfast, and I'm excited. I realized that today is a really special day to me. It is September 5th today, and September 5th is the anniversary of a very special day in my life, which was the day I got into a near-death experience and a really bad accident. And this was in 2019, so it was 6 years ago now. But when I was in my senior year of college, I was biking around Austin and I got hit by a car. And I was actually crossing a driveway on Guadalupe, and I had fallen off my bike, and a car was turning out of the driveway and hit me and dragged me under the car. After the accident, I had pretty severe PTSD and concussion, but actually I walked away with like very minimal injuries. But I spent the next probably 2 years, but really, yeah, at least 1 year, really focusing on my health and focusing on getting back, or not even getting back to where I was, but my life actually completely changed. The first time in my life, I was really needing to consider what I believed and how I wanted to live my life from now on. It was really weird because I was only 21 and I felt like I needed to actually figure out how I wanted to live my life. I felt like I had a second chance at life in some ways, and I was awakened and I wanted to choose how I wanted to live my life. And there was a point in that year where I wondered so many times who I would be after that, and if I would ever be happy again. And so it's just really special because every year I kind of sit down on this day and do some reflections, and every year it's been really different how much changes I've gone through and how far I've come from this really, really the lowest moment of my life. And 6 years later, I have moved to Madrid with my love, and I have created a life for myself that is like just so beyond my wildest imagination. So today is a day every year where I think a lot about the last years of my life and who I am now versus who I was then. I'm also about to turn 28 and I'm in my Saturn return era. So there's just a lot of really deep transformation happening in my life and a lot of things that I'm thinking about. I think that time in my life and finding healing from that time gave me the blueprint for how to deal with like any grief and any sadness, and helps me like realize how do I overcome things in my life that are really devastating, and how do I become a resilient person. And so I'm so grateful to that 21 and 22-year-old me that has given me the key to really understanding myself and understanding what will help me and how to help myself. And so I just feel a lot of gratitude today. I'm very, very grateful today. I think going into this new week, I'm really excited about the weekend that I have planned. I've met some new people. I've definitely met some new friends. I'm still meeting new friends, and I'm really, really excited about that. And also, I feel like some of the things that makes Madrid like an amazing city and like makes people love Madrid and love living here, I'm starting to see more of. A few days ago, we took a bike ride from Tetuan all the way down to Retiro. And it took a long time. It took a while, but it's actually not that far. And I just really liked that we could do it at all. That the city feels actually really connected and small and really charming. Like there's so many neighborhoods and it's also charming. And there's like literally thousands of places you can get your hair cut or do Pilates, and there are just so many options for things. And I think that's something that I don't think Austin has as much of. Like I don't think there are as many options, and it's not as dense, and it's not as accessible either. So that's something I'm really enjoying this week about Madrid. And I think meeting these new friends, like we're not friends yet, but it makes me just like, I met someone when I went to my Pilates class, and I met a few girls on Bumble BFF, and like people are here for so many different reasons, for like a new opportunity, a new start, or maybe they've been here for years. And it just feels really cool to meet all these people who are international and have come for so many different reasons, and just like be a part of that too and have a story here. So I think I am really open to falling in love with the city. And I think like falling in love, like anytime you fall in love, you have to have the conscious decision. You have to make the conscious decision to open your heart and trust. And I think like my heart is starting to get more and more open to being here, and more optimistic. And yeah, I just feel really excited about today and the beginning of my chapter here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. And please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more of this in the future.